Welcome to Turning Pages with Bree. So glad you are here, spending some of your TIME time here with me on yet another video. So I want to, of course, thank and welcome any new subscribers, anyone that has returned and already are enjoying it enough to want to subscribe. I appreciate you. But yeah, all the things, like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, please. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you clicking on it and hanging out with me for a bit of time. So this video is going to be me sharing with you a couple of books that I have completed, and I kind of just still have them on my mind a little bit and want to talk to you about them to get, you know, a little bit of a book review, more personable, not really a blog, because I'm not going into depth, bit by bit about what I'm reading, what I've read, or what I'm reading while I'm reading it. Because if you don't know, I do a lot of listening. And because of that, I go through books pretty fast. And a lot of times I just don't have time to stop and start talking about it. So anyways, and then I don't want to give you a lot of spoilers so that you don't get the excitement of finding out all the good stuff while you're reading it like I would. So anyhow, there's two books I want to talk about that I finished recently. The first one is If You Stayed by Miss Brittainy Cherry. Okay. A lot of people have been talking about this book. It came out last year. So it's one of her like newer books that she has released. And a lot of people, of course, have been kind of talking about it on their channel. I hadn't had a chance to read it. I got it. I pre-ordered it, I think, if I'm not mistaken, so that I could get, a copy quickly. But I didn't read it quickly because I'm just now getting to read it. So anywho, first of all, I think this is a 4-star read to me. That was just kind of my opinion. I'm not really big into this star thing. Give or take. It is what it is. So just aside from the star situation, the story itself, it was great writing. Brittainy Cherry, to me, she is a very heartfelt writer. She puts a lot of, depth in what she writes when she is telling a story. So she gives it to you, kind of raw. And I like that about her. I like how she puts together a story. And this particular copy that I have, it has the sprayed edges, and it also has pictures in the front. Isn't that a beautiful picture? I just thought that was so pretty, of the main female character and the main male character. So this story basically is about a young woman. I can't remember names. Okay, wait a minute. What's her name? Hold on, I'm going to tell you what her name is. Read too many books and you cannot remember people's names, right? Hold on, because I like to know their names when I'm talking to you. But it just goes in and out so quickly if I don't... Kiara and Gabriel. That's who's in that picture that I showed you. That's who is being talked about as the main female character, Kiara, and the main male character, Gabriel. So anyways, there is a backstory with them specifically. I won't go into detail, but they have a backstory, right? And it's in depth. It's got a lot going on. And so you get a lot of reverie where they go back a little bit in time to talk about some things that happened in the past and then bring you forward to what her life is now. So it kind of starts off with telling you about what's going on with her life now. And she is now, I think it was 10 years later. She is married. She has a daughter. And she is in a marriage that is got some issues. Okay. So I'll just leave it at that. And because of that, it kind of leaves, of course, not just because of that, but because of that and some other stuff, it leaves an opening for you to definitely see the main male character, Gabriel, how he can enter into the situation. But here's his situation. He does not remember her. Okay. Now I'm not going to go into details, but he and her, like I said, have a past, and he does not remember that past. Okay. For reasons. And so because of that, when they come into each other's space 10 years later in the present, she knows who he is. He doesn't know who she is. And there is just this connection between them, even in spite of the fact that he doesn't know who she really is to him. Okay. So the story, like I said, it goes from there. It takes you on some twists and turns. It's really an emotional read. And it has a lot of intrigue, and it has some triggers in there. So definitely read the trigger warnings on it if you are triggered by certain things, because there is some stuff going on that could trigger you if you are triggered by certain activities. So read those trigger warnings. I won't go into all that detail, but I'll say that I enjoyed this book. I thought she did a wonderful job. I liked how she wrapped the story up. It gave me what I needed for it to, come to an end. So it was a really good standalone. So if you're looking for a good book, that is a standalone, and it's going to bring in a beautiful love story that is not your typical love story. And it doesn't have, all that kind of spice, because it had just a hint, but nothing over the top. Very, very comfortable with the spice. So if you are a girly that likes to read a good book that's in depth, this is a good choice. I think that you will not be unsatisfied. I think you will get the feels that you are looking for with this one. But it's not so emotionally bound that you will be in tears. Not me. I wasn't in tears on this one or anything. I just enjoyed the ride, and I did get some of the emotion, but it wasn't so heated that it just took me over the top. Okay. So that's the first one. The second book I want to talk about, I'm going to have, of course, I always have them up there so you can look at them, where is it? Jahquel J's Don Caselli. Okay. This is the second book in the series. Okay. The first book is 10,000 Hours with a Rich Menace, I think it's called. And I read that last year, and it was good. And this is his brother. Okay. The first book is about Menace and his issues. And this book is about his brother, Don. Landon is his real name, but they call him Don. So Don Caselli. When I tell you this book was so funny, it did everything. To me, this was a 4.5, definitely a 4.5 star read to me. It was intriguing. It was interesting. It had me laughing out loud. Just like 10,000 Hours with a Rich Menace. It did the same thing with this book. I mean, she just wrote this so well, to me, in my opinion, to keep you interested, but also to keep you just laughing and enjoying. Now, it does have spice. So along with the laughs and the giggles, you are also going to have the spice. But when I tell you, you are going to enjoy yourself on this ride, Jahquel J gives you what you need to just have a good time. This book and the first and the second, it was a good time. This is a part of that world of Jahquel J, that universe of the Capone, Capadonna. This is a part of their world, but it's a different, they're in the world of that, but it's a different feel. Okay. It's not quite the same feel as Capone and Capadonna, because I have read Capone. I've read half of Capadonna. I haven't finished. I'm still on my journey with that. But this was really, really good. I enjoyed their story. Just to give you a little bit of a hint, Don Landon, he is just like a no holds barred, in your face, just kind of that guy, that dude that just gonna tell it like it is. He's one of those, just put it all out there. He's not gonna hold back. He's gonna tell you how he feel, and he's just straight up about it. And he's the of course main male character. The main female character is Blue, okay? And she is that girl that has went through some things with someone else in her life that it didn't come to fruition like she would have wanted it to, right? This is somebody that she had been in a relationship with for many years. She really thought that this was going to be, I guess, the one for her. And it ended up that he got someone else pregnant and, basically stepped out on the relationship. And she does not want kids. Just FYI. Okay. She doesn't want children. So she just wanted, her good life with her boyfriend. And she was going to be, hopefully, this is going to be the person she's going to marry. And they were just going to have in her head, live a good life together. But after finding out that he had kind of stepped out and did whatever he did, that left her open to other things. And she was kind of not comfortable with moving on because of the hurt that she had, but she was interested in the way that Don, kind of approached her. It was just really genuine. Okay. It was really genuine. He was really upfront and honest about how he, felt about her and what he liked about her. But also at the same time, he was coming off of something with someone too. And so he was upfront and honest about that with her as well. And she was upfront. It was really interesting because they both had these past situations that they were kind of not all the way done with, but sort of done with. And even though they had those past scenarios situationships, they both were being very real with each other about how they felt about those individuals and what they were going through, which was really, you don't see that much, or at least you don't read about that much. But they were, not trying to hide anything from from one another. They were just really like, this is how I am, or this is how I feel, this is me. And they both came to that relationship in that way. So they weren't like trying to fake the funk, trying to put on airs, none of that. And it was just kind of refreshing. It was a different type of relationship that they had. And I liked how they were open with each other, and they were just not trying to hide who they were at all. And they ended up really falling in love deeply for each other. And it just takes you on a great ride. And it's funny. It's just funny as hell. And you're just going to have a good time. I just cannot imagine anyone reading this book and not having a very good time. I enjoyed this. I'm down for both books. I think you should definitely read the first one first, the 10,000 Hours with a Rich Menace, and then dive on into Don Caselli. It was good. I enjoyed it. And I'm so glad that I was a part of that universe. Now I got to jump myself back into the other side, which is Capadonna for me, finishing that up so I can get to Capri. So anyways, those are the two books that I'm going to talk about on this video. I'm not going to make it too much longer. Just wanted to come on and share with you some of the books recently that I have read that I have enjoyed, and I will carry on, of course, reading for the rest of the month, and I'll do my little wrap up. And if I get some more in that I really like and I really want to share with you guys, I will come on and do another video of that book. But so far, those are the two that have kind of stood out for me. So the ones that I have been reading outside of that, these are the top two so far. Okay. So we'll see where we are at once I, carry on and get more down the line in the month of February. I'm reading really diversely too, just so you know. I'm not, just sticking to one, genre. Well, I am. Okay, I am. I mean, it's mostly romance, but I am throwing some thrillers in there. And I actually did do some little historical fiction. I'm actually not enjoying that as much as I would like to. So I definitely probably won't talk about that. Or one of them. I'm reading two actually historical fictions. One of them I'm not. The other one is good. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And I'm also reading like this rom-com-ish funny type book. First time I'm reading this author. It was sent to me with the Harlequin box that I get. So I wanted to pick this one out because virtual book club that I'm a part of, they picked it out to read. So I'm almost done with it. So it's pretty good. I will probably share this book along with something else, because it's pretty good. Okay. It's not a 5-star. No, definitely not a 5-star, but it's a pretty good read. And so I will probably definitely share that with you. It's by Amy Dawes. This is my first book of hers, and it's called 9-Month Contract. So this is the book, and I'm, like I said, almost done with it, and I will definitely include this in my next review for the end of the month, hopefully, with whatever else that I deem to be a really, really good read of mine. So that's it. That's all I wanted to share on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed this little mini review of two of the books that I've read recently, and I will just see you on the next one.